Morning, everybody. Karen, we're thinking of you with your loss, and I just have to say, Carol with an E. I love that mom. That's the way my mom had spelled her name, and she always loved that E on the end of her name. And I love John Denver as well. It brings me back to summer times, riding in an old Buick, listening to a 8-track. That's what they were called, right? 8-track of John Denver. Welcome, Janelle. That was the next thing you're going to say. My name is Karen. I'm coming out from the Bay Area. I am right outside San Francisco, about a town over from Sausalito, if you're familiar with that. How many of you are brand new? Throw a 1 in if this is your very first social. And then I know a lot of you have been doing this for a while, but I want a 2 for people who've been doing this for a year or more. Oh, wow. Goodness, we got a lot of 1s and we got some 2s who've been doing it. We are so happy to have you here with us today. And February is one of my favorite months because this is my 3-year anniversary with Silk and Saunders, not as a facilitator, as a user, but we are coming up to 2-year anniversary in March of facilitators of our group, which is just pretty exciting. I know, it's so awesome. So make sure that your chat is set to everyone, especially newbies when you're putting those 1s in. A lot of you are set to where only Jennifer and I will see it. Set it to everyone. And speaking of which, Jen's going to come on and she's going to give you a little hello this morning. She's the one who's helping you in the chat.
Good morning. Let me know if there's anything you need. We're going to have a great setup.
It's going to be awesome. It's going to be such a good day. So make sure your chat's set to everyone, and that's all you really need to do. This is a camera off event besides me. I go off camera when I give you time to work and play music. So yeah, that's how we communicate, is through that chat. All right. Our theme this month is passion. So fun for Valentine's Day. And I don't want you to worry if you're thinking, oh, I don't love it, like I don't have a partner right now or whatever. We're going to explore different facets of passion in our weekly setup. So don't worry if you are not partnered up and thinking like, oh, this month the theme is not going to resonate with me, because I think it absolutely will, because we can have passion in so many ways. For me, I have a huge passion for Pilates. As a Pilates instructor, it literally gave me my life back. I was suffering from horrible migraines. So I have a huge passion from it. Pilates really helped that for me. And I have a huge passion for Silk and Saunders as well, because it has been instrumental in changing my life as well. Yes, Heather, you yourself are your partner. Celebrate you. Yes, I love that. So our agenda for today is our passion mind map, the rosebud thorn, our weekly setup, and then we'll close out. I love Zumba. Zumba's super fun. Heather, that's who said it. I would never teach Zumba. No one wants me to teach Zumba. I'm in the back tripping over my own feet. That's why I teach Pilates. Okay, so our mind map. If you're brand new, and there's a lot of you that are, what we do is we take our theme and each week we explore a different area of it. And if you were not here for either of the other setups, does anyone have a prediction based on my opening song, what we're going to be exploring today? Anybody have any ideas? Looking at the chat, look at the Jerry, you are right. We are going to be exploring home. So this week, we only reveal 1 per week. So 2, 3, and week 4. And we know there's a typo on that slide. They're fixing it today, but we realized it when it was the weekend. So what are you going to do? So I am going to share with you passion for me for home. Flowers. I mentioned this the other day. I love Trader Joe's flowers. Are these, I don't know what these are called, but I've had these for a month. Best $4 investment in myself I've done in a long time. And look how cute this vase is. It was $3 in the at Target, in the dollar section. I love it. I wish I picked up the other one. So cute. I love having flowers in my house. It makes me feel alive. I love having a beautiful glass of wine while I'm cooking and talking and chatting with either friends or my husband. It just really gives me time to decompress from the day. as well as spend some time talking and finding out about others. So that's huge in my house. I love having a candle lit. I'm so disappointed that Trader Joe's is already out of their green tea wood wick candles. I'm not someone who's going to stockpile because I hate those people, but every time I went, I bought one when they had them, and I'm down to my last two. So good. I love Trader Joe's candles. I like to have as little clutter as possible. I love puppy snuggles, and I love nurturing food. So that food, it could be very nurturing. Like sometimes my body's craving that kale salad, and sometimes it's craving, something that is absolutely not healthy. But life is about balance. And, I'd rather have the delicious food than a six pack. So what are you going to do? So yours may be completely and totally different from mine. Are these, I don't know what they're called, but they're super, super cute. Okay. So I'm going to put a song on. I'm going to let you guys enjoy some music as you think and brainstorm about passion in your home. Okay, saw people talking about, sometimes the house is chaotic, but it's full of love and making memories. And that's definitely the way I grew up too. Lots of stuff, lots of craft projects everywhere. Definitely. For me, my husband is very much a minimalist. And so it's probably a good thing. Otherwise, there'd be clutter everywhere. Soft blankets, cuddling with kitties, reading books, all of those things, crystal collections, sun catchers, all of those things can give you that passion. Yeah, a lot of people last night talked about plants as well, and I love that, bringing the outdoors indoors. I can't really keep any alive, so actually, I have one that I am keeping alive for the very first time, and I'm pretty excited about it. I'm like, "Ooh, growing up, growing up." Okay, so our next section that we're going to dive into is our rosebud thorn. Now, you could do this in this week's journal, or you could do it in last week's journal. It's at the end of your weekly spread. If you're doing it in last week's, you're looking at page 30. If you want to reflect on that one, or you can use this week's. Either one is fine, totally up to you. A rose is a highlight, something that was good that happened this week. A bud is an emerging opportunity. Excuse me. And a thorn is a challenge. So for me, I finally finished up my comprehensive Pilates training. I've been working for a year for getting my chair and Cadillac certification. It's 4 apparatuses. I won't bore you with the details. So that's huge for me. My bud is that I am definitely pursuing redoing my backyard. We bought this house about a year and a half ago, and I want to be able to add outdoor living space because I'm in the Bay Area and we have good weather most of the time. So that's an emerging opportunity. I want to install like a fire pit because we don't have a fireplace, hot tub, outdoor kitchen, all of those kinds of things. And then a thorn is exactly what you just heard me do. Is my asthma is off the charts right now from the wind and the rain and everything being in bloom in Northern California. So I apologize for that cough, and it's not much fun. Okay, so that's my rosebud thorn. I'm going to give you an opportunity to fill it out for yourself. Share in the chat. Okay, welcome back, everybody. Snicky needed a little puppy snuggle this morning. Okay, so a lot of things happening in the rosebud thorn, celebrations of changes of degrees, and sticking with our yoga, doubling the amount of mileage. I'm kind of jealous of that. I take Snickers on walks every day, and he's about, in the cold weather, he's about a mile kind of dog. He's not really interested in going much further. He starts to pull me back home. So we're going to dig into the main event, which is our weekly planner. We're going to be looking at page 32 and 33, and I'm going to share with you some examples, and then I'm going to give you time to be able to work through it. But I want to give you a little grounding. February is usually when habits that you wanted to start that you're really excited about in the new year start to kind of decline. That excitement starts to decline. So I love this. Sometimes the strength within is not a big fiery flame for all to see. It's just a tiny spark that whispers softly, you got this, keep going. So I want you to keep that in mind as you create your weekly spread, your goals, and such. Now, if you are brand new to Silk and Saunders, I encourage you to screenshot or use your phone to take a photo of this. If your spread does not work for you, any of these can be used instead. But I also want to say there's nothing wrong with leaving a section blank. I do that all the time. My shopping list a lot of times is blank because I add to it as I go, same with my to-dos. So you can use your meal planner or food tracker. Jen O keeps it to track the leftovers so she doesn't poison herself or her husband. So we love that. That's a good thing to do. Maybe you love that daily affirmations, or you are all about the scripture. You can use those as well. It can be a work or study tracker. I used mine as a study tracker last week because I was studying for that Pilates exam. It could be a cleaning plan or exercise tracker. We have a lot of people who love the Fly Ladies, where it breaks down your housework into smaller chunks. So you could use a section for planning out the chunks that you're doing. It could be a mindfulness activity planner, an end of day of reflection. You can list your appointments that you don't want to miss. It could be a garden tracker. It could be tracking symptoms of chronic pain or chronic conditions. A dream tracker. It could be listing things that were really positive for you during the day. It could be an outfit tracker or planner for when you're traveling. A national day of list, like if it is National Potato Chip Day, maybe you want to celebrate with a bag of potato chips, you know? It could also be like your TV, movie, or podcast or book tracking. A gratitude log. You could use it to be able to mark out the routines that you're trying to get solidified. It could be a mini bingo board. That's a very much favorite one around here. It doesn't work for me personally because I add to mine as we go throughout the week. But a lot of people love crossing it off like it's like an add a girl or an add a boy when they mark something off, or just celebrating the good things, even the small good things. And remember, this is your journal. Customize it for your life. Now, this is the most beautiful page you've ever seen. It is not mine. Mine will never look like this, and that's okay. I'm more of a scribble kind of girl. Maybe if I have time, throw a few stickers on it to make myself smile. But this can be a creative outlet for you as well. So totally, if this is your jam, make it look like this. If it's not and you're a scribble scrabble kind of person, make it that way. It still works for me, even though mine doesn't look as beautiful as this. But it is pretty, isn't it? So nice to look at. Here are some examples of the ways people have been looking, and we're going to be digging into page 32. I love that bookmark in the left-hand corner. I actually use those two magnetic bookmarks off of Amazon. They work really well for marking your pages in your journal. Little side note. So she wants to feel level-headed. Her goals is like run from the stress, finish your library books. So it's kind of big, lofty goals, where the other person on the right-hand side is like very specific goals that they're trying to accomplish. You can see that they are writing their habits here. So the planner, they want to do 7 days. The strength training, they want to do 2 days. closing their rings on their Apple Watch. They want to do it 5 days, go to the rec center one time, and then marking out with X's on the days that they're not going to do it. Both of these very different approaches, but beautiful either way. Here's someone who just kept it to the bare minimum, and I love that. So they put a sticker over that to-dos. Maybe that stresses you out, so just put something pretty over it. That's okay. They want to feel relaxed. They are giving themselves grace with a meds adjustment, a deep clean, and to read one book. So it wasn't just, all bad things. Reading's fun, so they put something fun in their goals. And also notice that they didn't list every single thing out. They had hydrate, skincare, and Brene Brown. I'm assuming they're listening to her podcast. I'm not sure. And then over here is, I love on the weekly to-dos, they have some things that are fun, like create a happiness Spotify playlist, listen to an episode of the Happiness Lab. So this can be the way it is that you want it to be. And her feelings, she didn't use just one word. She used a phrase, and that's okay to do that too. Katie, one of our other facilitators, will sometimes put a song lyric there because she's very much into music. So make this work for you. There's no right or wrong way to do this. This week, I want to feel. If you're not sure how you want to feel, here is that feelings wheel. You can work from the inside out. So maybe you're digging into passion and you go into love and you're like, love's good, but that's not exactly what I'm looking for. And so you look to, affectionate. Affectionate looks good, but that's not really it. And then maybe it's like romantic. Maybe you want to feel romantic this week. Maybe you're romancing yourself with some bubble bath and flowers. So let me know in the chat how it is that you want to feel. This is the one time I won't give you a whole lot of time because it's just a little quick write down. How do you want to feel this week? I'm like, come on, tell me how you want to feel, people. Oh, there we go. There we go. Thank you, Jessica. Accomplished, organized, relieved. There we go. Calm, secure. I want to feel like a boss, proud, caffeinated, and centered. Oh, calm and centered. Jubilant, accomplished, productive. My higher self, loved and safe, strong, encouraged, confident and grounded, satisfied, euphoric, prepared, badass. Prepared for my new job. Congratulations, Jessica. Peaceful, not overthinking my job. Love that, Sarah. Cherished, taken care of, grateful and confident, brave, beautiful ways to feel. I love that. So if you haven't already jotted down how it is that you want to feel, go ahead and do that in your journal. The next section we're going to dig into, oh, Dana, me too, peacefulness and slow to anger. Isn't that like a goal for all of us? Our weekly to-dos. Like I said, I am a purist. I use mine just as things come up. Like I bought a cute yoga pant sports bra outfit that needs to go back from Amazon because it was not made for people with a chest, period. It was like one of those single ones. So like I add things like that to my to-do list. But there's some other ways that you could do it. And remember, any of those repurposing I shared, you could totally do as well. This one is a favorite, is a to-do list. So you leave it blank. And then you start adding all your accomplishments to it this week. If a to-do list stresses you out, maybe this is something that you want to try. Keep a distractions list. I like this one. So like scrolling through social media, ended up binging entire TV series, feel like I have to respond to casual messages ASAP. Ooh, that one's so me. So any of these ways you can totally use. So I'm going to play a song. And maybe you are repurposing it. If you are, let us know. Maybe it's an idea we've never even thought of. Or maybe you're like me and you're just writing down the things that need to get done this week. Or maybe you're just finding that perfect quote and sticker to put on it. All right, friends, sorry for jumping ahead onto that goal setting. This is the third one we've both done, and I guess my brain just went on to automatic. So we are heading into our three major goals. We're still on page 32. And some things to think about with those goals is I put in the chat is to really look back at your intentions. Should have waited to put that into the chat. Like I said, it is 7 a.m. here in California. I apologize for that. You're more than 90% likely to reach your goals when you speak your goals to a group of people, like that chat, and you have regular check-ins with that group, like the Sonder Social. So you're doing all those things to set yourself up for success with those goals. So I'm going to give you some time. Remember, some people make them big and lofty. Some people make them specific. Think about the week that you're having. Maybe this is a week that you have a lot of things going on. So maybe you only write one goal. Or maybe this is a week you really are just really diving into something new and you're creating more than one goal. Maybe you're doing 5. There's no right or wrong way to be able to do this. Okay, I'm going to put a song on and let you guys work. Okay. So we have one more exercise to be able to fill out on page 32, and it's our habit and activities. Now, a lot of times people will be like, well, there's a habit tracker at the beginning of the journal for the monthly. And if you haven't set that up, we do set that up on our monthly socials. That's for something you want to do every single day. This is for something that you may want to do once, twice, or more. Some things to think about as you fill out your habit tracker: focusing on one thing at a time, getting fresh air, practicing that daily gratitude journal, prioritize rest. A lot of times it is good to use the space if you're trying to establish a routine. So maybe you're trying to come up with some sleep hygiene. So you could definitely use this to be able to help keep your routine going. It can also be things like decluttering, getting outside. Gretchen Rubin, big fan of her podcast, Happier, 23 for 23, being outside for 23 minutes a day. Scheduling breaks, unwind, stretch for 5 minutes. I love the stretching on the Calm app. Pamper yourself, fill in your gratitude log, read for 5 minutes, unplug before bedtime. So all of these are different ideas that you could utilize in your habit tracking. Now, remember, you don't have to fill out every single one just because there's lines there. And if the little lines next to it where you fill out that I'm going to do it 7 times or I'm going to do it 5 times stresses you out, don't put anything there. We're all works in progress, myself included. Okay, so we are working on our habit activity. I'll see you in a couple. Welcome back. Okay. We have that Mondays there and we have that evenings. Mondays, sometimes you just need a little extra on Mondays to get yourself set up for a very happy and productive week. So sometimes maybe you preload a little extra self-care on those Mondays. Okay, so now we're heading on to page 33. And Sherry, start small, maybe like Ashley was talking about, like, okay, where do I start? Maybe you list one habit in your monthly tracker and one habit in your weekly tracker. The weekly one you want to do 3 times a week, and the other one, a lot of times I'll even put Silk and Saunders journal in it. And I put that in my daily to keep myself accountable for it. So, no, this should never bring you stress. This should be all about joy and love and making you feel good. If it makes you feel stressed, you definitely need to reevaluate and bring it to a smaller, leave some of it blank. I say this all the time, but I have been using the journal for 3 years. Not once, even as a facilitator, have I filled out every single page. It still works for me. So just, there you go. Here are some examples of the page 33 that we're going to be digging into. That left-hand large size is the meal planner. It is definitely one that gets repurposed the most. So someone's using it for affirmations and someone else is using it for their study log. Some people might use it as an outfit tracker or their scriptures. So these are some examples of people repurposing. Value my worth. So that is the mind body. And she's just doing little bits of journaling there, just, bringing it out. I like it. She's taken her shopping list and made it to phone calls. And then I love over here on the right-hand side, it's very simplistic. She just put a sticker over it and said, love yourself. And she only has one thing listed in the mind body health plan. It doesn't have to be everything. If it's not working for you and you are not ready to repurpose it yet, leave it blank, put a sticker over it if it bothers you. Here's another couple examples. Look over here on the left hand, you can tell that this is someone who is a work in progress. Like they're using this through the week. They're going in pencil. That's the way I utilize my journal too. Pencil works just as well. And then over here in the Mind Body Health Plan, you notice that she covered up the dates because she didn't want to attach a date to it. And that worked for her. So great. And she changed her shopping list into things she needed, hoped, and wanted. Over here, someone else is using affirmations and they're keeping some of this really simple and blank. So that is definitely a way you can utilize it. So we're going to dig into our meal plan section. I have a couple more examples here of some that I've done in the past. Sometimes I use as a meal tracker. I use food services, so I don't necessarily write down what meal I'm going to have because it's based on what do I feel like and if the produce is going bad. So I just put purple carrot because that's the food service I use, or thistle. So that works for me. And the other one, I was tracking observation hours for Pilates. This is a couple of years old. So I repurposed it in that way. And if you love the affirmations, here is just a fun little clip of those affirmations. And Elizabeth, those water droplets, a lot of people will put in like, I'm drinking herbal tea right now. So they may color that separate as a different color than the water that they're drinking. You can also color it in to relate it to a number of steps or number of times you thought positive thoughts. The world is your oyster. You can use it any way that makes sense to you. Felt a cough coming on, sorry. Okay, so I'm gonna give you some time to be able to work in that meal plan section. In the chat, let us know if you're repurposing or if you are cooking something special. Maybe you're making that cinnamon chili for Super Bowl. Okay. Love that Sarah's taking it easy on herself for her weekly plan. That's the way we want this mindset to go. I'm shared last night. Mine's empty. I'm going to be working on it today. I didn't have time this weekend to be able to get a good start on this. So I'm going to give myself a little grace. I'm going to spend some time right after this getting myself organized for the week. And so we could have, this is not supposed to bring stress. It's supposed to help you feel centered. So, let some of those expectations go. It's not going to be perfect. It's okay to scratch something out. It's okay to leave something blank. So we're going to give our attention to one of my favorite sections because I'm all about self-care. And it is our mind body health plan. Some people love to track their exercise. Like I know a lot of people use yoga with Adrian, I think, obviously Pilates, not yoga, and they'll write down which sessions they're going to do that week. Or if you're a weightlifter, maybe it's leg day and how many sets of each one that you're going to do. Other people will repurpose it. I sometimes will kind of like mark out, I don't have my self tanner and lashes on today, but like I'm going to deep condition my hair this one day. And the next day, I'm going to self tan. So there's a lot of ways that you could look at it. Or maybe it's just like, hey, I'm watching my favorite TV show this day, or I am spending 20 minutes to sit down and work on a crafty project. So there's no right or wrong way to do it. If you're struggling for ideas, here are some different ones that you could utilize. So we're working in that mind body health plan. I love the self-love language. So maybe keep that in mind. For me, I am a receiving gifts kind of person. So I'm going to keep that in mind for myself this week. Okay. Man, the chat was gold. Some people use it to track their therapy sessions and things like that. I thought that was great. Someone else wanted to make sure that their outfits were not the same when they were meeting with similar customers. So many creative ways to do it. And then a great discussion. I have not read the book, The Artist Way, but one of the groups that I belong to for life coaching, they talk a lot about artist dates, doing a solo date with yourself to unlock creativity. So I feel like I just may have added something to my to-do list of a book that I want to dig into, and maybe it's the same for you. We're digging into the last section. We're going to combine these last two little bits together. It's our shopping list. Now, I use mine just as it is, and I add to it as I go. I was going to start today, but I didn't get it together. I'm going to start Wednesday on my day off of a plant-based, menu to see if I actually like the way the app is working or not. So I use mine as is, but if you're wanting something a little different, maybe you keep a worries list where you write down those things. Sometimes just giving truth to those things will kind of let it go. I know that a lot of people would keep a note paper beside the bed at night to write down the things so they can let it go out of their mind. Same sort of idea here. So that shopping list, and then the very last section is something that I am loving. Maybe you have discovered a new TV show or author, or maybe you went to, you can tell I love Trader Joe's, Trader Joe's and tried a new cream or a new food, or maybe you made that brand new pizza dough and you absolutely loved it. And that is something that you are loving. So I'm going to give you time to fill out your I'm loving as well as that shopping list. Sorry for the abrupt cutoff of the music, but I want to make sure I get you guys out exactly on time because I know a lot of you have places that you need to be. So please, please, please share in Sonder Club. We'd love to see what it is that you've done. That's where we get a lot of these examples from, besides from our own. And I wanted to leave us with this. February is going to be your month filled with all kinds of love, abundance, and sweet new opportunities. So, loving Silk and Saunders, here is the QR code to be able to refer a friend. They get $10, you get $10. You could buy bath bombs or the annual supplement. So that's where it is. And then that YouTube link is in the chat. You do need that link. You cannot search for it. It is a private group. So thank you so much for being here. And I am throwing my playlist in. I worked from the bottom up today. I hope that you are not going to have a manic Monday, but a fabulous Monday, and that you're going to slay this week.
Another summer day has come and gone away from Paris or Rome, but I wanna go home. Maybe surrounded by a million people, I still feel all alone. Just wanna go home. Oh, I miss you, you know. And I've been keeping all the letters that I wrote to you, each one a line or two. I'm fine, baby, how are you? Well, I would send them, but I know that it's just not enough. My words were cold and flat, and you deserve more than that. Another airplane, another sunny place. I'm lucky, I know, but I wanna go home.